This show is 110% Scottish, so if you think we're talking too fast, then make sure to slow it down with the playback speed button on whatever platform you're listening on. And last but not least, there's definitely offensive language featured, so if you're a minor or a pussy, switch off now. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wits The Goss. My name's Baby Amadeus.
I'm Ocean Lee Amadeus.
We are sisters and we are Scottish, in case you never realised. But yeah, welcome back for another episode. We did actually have we have got a great show for you guys today. Obviously, we've got a lot of different topics that were already pre-planned, but we obviously woke up this morning, and then obviously so did everybody else in the whole planet, and see the pure sad news that Liam Payne for One Direction.
Yeah, so we woke up this morning to the news. Liam Payne passed away. It's actually, honestly, even saying that sentence out loud sounds crazy. Like, that feels like it's came out of nowhere, but obviously...
We were obviously, like, first and foremost, by the way, we were, like, deciding whether we were going to talk about this, but I just thought to myself, like I said to Ocean, I was like, we're literally going to put cameras on and talk about reality shows, celebs, and, like, the world news, basically. Like,
and just pretend that someone hasn't passed away. That's not fair.
Yeah.
And look, in the last few weeks, he's actually been in the headlines a lot, just considering stuff to do with his ex Maddie. There's been
I didn't know any of this stuff until this morning. I've like watched back because I've just.
I had seen this stuff, to be fair. We just started filming a podcast again, and it was something I thought about talking about, but we just hadn't got round to it yet. But to wake up this morning and see that he's actually passed away, for anyone who doesn't know, he fell from a balcony in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, in Argentina.
Yeah. So pretty much right now we're filming this like first thing in the morning on Thursday. So in Australian time, we don't know much more than that at the minute. It's suspected that the police were called to do with someone who was like loud and kind of reckless in the hotel, but to be honest, there isn't enough really confirmation off news sites what truly has happened yet, so don't have too much to comment on in that aspect. Just
been
because
a lot of other articles coming out as well.
Yeah,
like,
it's
in the last week about how his family have
us.
been. Yeah, even in the last week before leading up to this, but there was a lot of articles leaking that like his family had been talking to people and all that. That his family had been talking to people that about. Like they were worried for him because obviously like his mental health has been declining in the last year, so I just feel like whether obviously it's been like intentional or not, or just been like a part of like a drug fueled bender, whatever it is, it's fucking horrific.
Of anything that's happened in his private life recently as well, it's kind of just.
Well, it doesn't matter. Obviously, people have to take accountability for things that like they've done and all that stuff, but it should never come to like something like this happening. I feel terrible for him. I feel terrible for his family.
It's just crazy as well because you think of people like Cheryl Cole, who's the mother of his child,
and then also like the girl that was there, like his girlfriend.
He was on holiday with his girlfriend.
Is she alright? Like,
I just feel bad. Like his family members, he posted on his Snapchat like an hour within an hour of him passing away. So as far as his family and stuff are concerned, they've probably found out at the same time as the rest of the world, and that's absolutely heartbreaking for them.
It's just like, and then just I think you could even see like, obviously when I seen that this morning, I ended up seeing all the other stuff about him when he was at Niall Horan's concert last week with his girlfriend, and then I don't know, it's just pure eerie. All the videos, like he just seems to be like, obviously like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but he does definitely seem to be like absolutely like off his chops, like he's definitely out of it and just like dead behind eyes, and I just feel like.
Yeah, seems like there's a lot going on.
And I said to you earlier, like I feel like Niall and the like other crew of One Direction haven't came out and been nasty against him or anything like that, because I do think they obviously understand like they feel terrible for him. I feel like because even in those pictures of him and Niall together, but obviously he went and seen him after he's finished the show and like he's taking a picture. I think even that you can clearly see like that's like a mate that's like taking a picture with a pal that if they're like feel bad for. Do you know what I mean? It's terrible.
I don't, and I just think we were discussing as well how it feels like your parents and other family members talk about people passing away, like the biggest stars of their generation passing away, and remembering when it happens, and this feels like it's going to be one of those times.
Yeah,
it feels
I feel like in our lives, especially everybody in our generation is experiencing the same thing. That
not to dismiss obviously anyone that has passed away like in the last few years that's been. But it's just, it feels like a huge star because One Direction were absolutely massive.
Massive, like absolutely massive. Like we obviously grew up in the UK and just obviously not just in the UK, the whole world, but especially in the UK when they were on X Factor and all that. Oft man, it was like the craziest time.
Yeah, me and B were just talking about earlier as well how it feels like when your parents are like older, people older than you talk about these huge stars of their
And they can
generation
remember
passing
specific
away.
times when people
Yeah,
passed away.
like even just a small example, I remember where I was when Michael Jackson passed away, but I didn't grow up specifically with Michael Jackson's music.
Yeah, I
And
remember when Amy Winehouse passed away.
yeah, and that felt like someone that we had experienced their life, but even then, I don't think we weren't old enough to recognise completely the struggle that she'd been through and stuff
For
before
sure.
that. So then, for a member of One Direction like Liam Payne, they were so massive that it feels surreal to say that he's literally passed away. But yeah, condolences to his family, all that kind of stuff.
It's just horrific, literally horrific. So we wanted to get that out of the way, talking about that first, because don't want to go too any more into it because it is actually horrific. And yeah, shout out to all his family and all that.
Yeah, and it felt a bit weird to come on and do our usual laugh and joke
Yeah.
without mentioning that at the start. So
But I think as well, obviously it's been massive as well as his ex-girlfriend who did come out in the last few weeks on TikTok and all that about her experiences. Like, I feel like just because it is a really sad, terrific thing that's happened, it doesn't take away from like people's experiences prior to all this happening with them.
yeah,
and I don't think she deserves
any hate or
the
anything to
actual
go towards
comments, and her comments on TikTok and Instagram are like shocking, like beyond shocking. So I just think to myself, take a minute to, obviously people are going to be upset and all that, especially if you are a super fan, but like just take a minute to like understand what you're actually saying and what you're doing. And yeah, we can all sit here, and everybody in the London world, we can sit here and mourn over like a superstar like that being lost, but you don't actually know the person privately. So I feel like you can't be like slandering or slating somebody's personal experience, somebody that they were with for years.
Mm.
Even if this has happened, like obviously it is horrific, but I feel like leave that girl alone. This week on Sunday was the second episode of Baddies Reunion.
Wow.
So part one and part two.
Wow.
I think in the last episode we were just talking about the fact that it was about to happen, like we were about to watch the reunion. So first of all, as Oceanie just said, wow we, mental. This is their first time ever having a live audience. So like they obviously were loving hip hop and Bad Girls Club back in the day. They used to always have live audiences.
Yeah,
but
they
Baddies,
definitely played up to the cameras a little high.
yeah, they were like really getting the audience involved. So they had Bobby Lights there. Not really sure what I'm not really sure what he was supposed to be doing.
I think he was just there to help pass through the show.
I think he was just helped there to give the
he
gag.
wasn't hosting. We were saying that Sukiana and
Not Sukiana, Dafty.
oh my god,
Saucy
Santana
and
Sukiana,
Janisha
fucking
John,
hell.
obviously, who always hosts it. Saucy, this is his first time hosting the show. And a lot of the baddies on the internet, obviously, before we seen the reunion, were obviously talking loads of shit like about Saucy and about
Can
how.
you update me more? Because I don't keep up with them offline.
So on the internet, they were all saying like Saucy was a fucking shit host, this, that, and the next thing. But Saucy was not a shit host. He clocked all the fucking tea. So immediately off the bat, obviously a massive storyline of the show was Gretchen saying the N-word. Saucy immediately off the bat starts going in on the other cast members like Jayla, fucking whoever else it was, about why they don't give the same energy to Mariah Lynn about saying the N-word when she's from Puerto Rico and so is Gretchen. So I just thought immediately off the bat, oh, clock it, sir. Clock that shit, sir. So they were all saying that Santana was a big sweaty mess and he was literally like suction cupped in his dress and all that, which clock the tea. Listen, Santana, he could have got, I don't know how styled he's looked, but he looked compressed to another level. I mean, I'm a bitch that's definitely fitted myself in some outfits, did not fit me once or twice, right? But holy fucking shit, he did definitely look warm. And we noted it down.
He looked warm.
We
He's a
know-
bit more than look warm. He was fucking roasting.
Obviously, Santana's always known for having his little fan that he walks about with because he's so roasting hot all the time. So we did clock it that at 27 minutes into the first episode, 27 minutes in, that was the first scene that I seen that he had to fan himself down.
And from then on, baby, that fan
And
was
from then
never
on,
away.
that fan did not leave his hand. He was sweating. He was hot and bothered. I went, eh. It was so funny. And then I did feel bad because immediately, obviously, you were trying to like cover your eyes at this point and all that, obviously, but you know, Mariah Lynn
Yeah,
got her
guys,
ass beat. Like,
so,
I was so bad.
Quick thing about me covering my eyes. If anyone ever actually seen us watching Baddies together, most of the time I'm like this.
And I'm like this.
Like peeking through hands, but we have actually discussed possibly doing a kind of Gogglebox style.
We do want to do a live watch
a lot
along
of our shows.
But see, the thing is, the two of us are not patient enough. We get it on a Monday morning. It comes out for us on a Monday morning, right? Like at like 9 a.m. Guys, we are so impatient. We are like literally eyes just opened
I
up.
don't think we could ever do a
immediately
live
sitting-
stream though because we live in Australia. So because a lot of the people that watch
But then I
us
also
are
need
from
to
other
figure out
places.
the logistics of like copyright. Because like
Yeah, but for example, we could do more of a reactionary style where we watch a lot of shows and discuss a lot of shows on here. For example, we could have did
we really should.
Baddies. We could have did the Mormon Housewives.
Let us know
we
if
could,
you
we,
want us to give you a Gogglebox-esque spin-off
Yeah,
on the
because
podcast.
we don't have to show too much of the program we're watching. We can show bits of it and just
Yeah.
kind of react. But we would have so much fun doing that. Apart from the fact that when it comes to these Baddies reunions, I cannot keep my eyes on that screen at all times
I
because
can.
it's so much.
It's terrible of me, but I can
They
keep
were
my eye.
fucking laying in, and
then
it started
Tommy,
with Mariah Lynn.
It started with Mariah Lynn. Tommy Lee comes out. She looks absolutely 10 out of 10, but she's absolutely off her fucking chops. Like, she cannot string two words together properly. She is, like, ganging up the fucking... What's it called? The audience, getting them all to be like hyped up and shit. And then she just starts like beating on Bobby Lacey's ass. Like, just starts beating him up for like saying
I
she's
have no idea
I
where
was
that
like,
came
what
from.
the hell
I don't
is
think
going
Bobby
on?
knew where it was coming from either because it was just so.
Yeah.
I don't. If to us it seemed like unwarranted, so maybe there was something that's happened out with filming that we
Yeah,
don't
so
fully know
I
about.
wonder what drugs Tommy's on. Apparently she's not. And then as well, for so many seasons, Tommy and Natalie have always hated each other. And like Tommy comes out and she's just like, Nat, hey yo, Nat, me and you, girl, me and you get bread together, girl. Me and you make money together, girl. Like, I swear to God, that is exactly how she talked, how she looked. Like, she was spinning all sorts. And then in the second episode, she's still beefing with Rolly. Rolly's just sitting there. Rolly's like, bitch, why the fuck are you beefing with me? Rolly looks mad confused. I mean, Rolly did not get ready. She had a beautiful makeup on, but she had that bonnet and the joggers on. She was ready to...
Yeah, and we did see a
squabble.
sneak peek that it looks like they are going to fucking go.
They are going to end up going head to head, but crazy. Bianca absolutely beat on Mariah Lynn's ass. Mariah's eye is like all fucked up. It was crazy, and she was like getting her wig snatched. The audience had her wig. It was absolutely insane to another level. Yeah, and then Meatball comes out, and she's like sitting there for ages, silent as a disco. And
I don't think discos are very silent.
oh no, I was thinking silent. Anyway, she was silent sitting there, and then it turned into a fucking disco because she just wanted to fight with everybody.
Oh,
She had an
Meatball was going
agenda
for
to
it.
beat on every single person.
I think Meatball was loving as well to the crowd being there and like kind of geeing her up.
Yeah, I think they loved it. But the crowd was like hyping it up, but then also like, I just thought
The
what
crowd
the
wanted
fuck?
just to watch fights, so
Yeah, and then I was wondering, I was like, how the fuck did this not get leaked? But then, do you know, after it on TikTok, I seen well, obviously I was wondering, I was like, there's so much crowd there. How is like they're not videos, like proper videos of them leaking it? But they use these things that apparently they use at loads of live events and like musicals and things like that that don't want to be recorded. It's like these little foam bags that when you're entering the venue, there's like it's a foam bag, but it's got a tag on it. So they basically have the key that tags all your bags shut. So you put your phone in the slip and then they lock it shut. So then you keep a hold of your phone in this little bag the whole time, and then when you're leaving, then they'll unlock it for you. But that's how they stop people from recording it and posting it.
yeah.
Because I wondered, I was like, wait, how the fuck are they going to keep that? And then I was thinking, wait, is it rigged? Is the audience just like family members know that? Do you know what I mean? I was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
well, how is this actually going to work out? But that is the reason how that happened.
Well, it seemed like some of the girls recognised some of the people in the audience.
Yeah.
So I think there was definitely like some people that the girls knew, but
I wonder how they got on. Like, I wonder how they managed, like, how they got, like, how did they get...
Natalie did joke though. She goes, "There goes our live audience," because I think someone, whether it be Meatball or Tommy, I don't know who, but someone was in with the crowd.
Yeah, I think they were taking it too far, weren't they? And then it was like, that was it done. So we've got the final part that's next week. I think it will be 3 parts. I can't imagine it being 4 parts, but you just never know. Because there was that many girls this season. There's still girls that haven't even came out on the reunion yet, and it's part 2.
I wonder how long that took to film. Oh fuck!
Well, that's what I don't get as well. Like, they must have had to have it. Well, you can tell there was a lot more structure this season because in previous seasons of the reunion, like, majority of the episodes are them talking in the like the glam rooms and all that, like the little trucks and trailers out the back before the show even starts. But now it seemed a lot more organised this time, so obviously it had to be because there was people that's going to be there. But like, see, the last seasons they were there till like like some of the part 3s like was it like 3-4 in the morning and all that.
Oh fuck
like,
that!
Do you know what I mean? So I wonder how, when it started, I need to know more details about the filming aspect of this. Like, when did they start filming a reunion?
Yeah.
When did it end? Like, how did they bring the crowd in? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how did it all happen? I've got too many
If
unanswered
anyone
questions.
can hear little clinking sounds, me and B are just having a little whiskey and coke.
Bitch, I'm not even drinking mine right now. 2 seconds.
Come on, have a little drink.
Thank you. Thank you, next. But yeah, that was kind of scandalous. What else? Oh my god, this is what I've seen this morning as well. So Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, he was on stage at a concert, and fucking a red laser's in the top of his head. And he's bolted right off the stage because this laser's hitting his head. Obviously, somebody was going to like assassinate him. So then the show had to stop for like 5 minutes, and while they assessed what was going on and all that. But I've still not found out what the actual final answer is. So if anyone knows, please comment and let us know because I need to know more about that tea.
Yeah, so Nick Jonas was scrambling off stage.
I just shat myself. But the thing is, he was quick with it. They must get trained on that. I'll let you know, obviously, when I become a superstar in my world tours. But I wouldn't have clicked on. I would have been like, oh. I would have been. Do you mean it to 10 me a minute? I'd have been shot dead before I even found out. That is true. I would have 10 a minute. I was like, oh my god, like there's a wee laser on me, and I'd be like, 2 and 2 together. It would have taken me ages to put those two together. Literally scandalous. Anyway, back to Baddies. Actually, what I seen earlier as well, Shinley. Natalie. So they're filming Baddies Midwest just now, which is like the next season after. And obviously
Mariah not on this season as well.
She's just got her ass beat as well in the last reunion, and she's like, I don't get him. If you don't get that camera on my face, you're not getting another season. I mean, this, that, next time. No, they actually didn't cast her for another season. But I did see her on TikTok, and she was like, it was a screen recording from her live from the other night there, and she's like, if you guys want me back on next season, I'd love to be back. Like, she's obviously gutted. She's missing the cash.
Wow.
I know.
So, do we have any confirmation as to why she's not been invited back?
I think ultimately, I think it's just because like the whole internet doesn't like her. I like her, but I think all the comments are like, get Mariah off, fuck Mariah. Obviously, when she came out on the reunion, the audience didn't really have too much to say, so I think that was just the whole aspect of it. But then what I don't understand is as well, Sapphire's not came back on this. Isn't back for the next season. So right now she's not. She might end up joining later on in the season, but she hasn't been casted for it. But Krishan Rock, she's out of jail. So she is going to be on it. She is going to be on it. I don't
think we should be putting Krishan back on TV.
No, but she's not going to be on it. She's dedicated her life to God now. So I think,
I know, but that's what I mean. Like, she was so like her life changed so much after that show, and she went through so much that I just think sometimes re-exposing someone to all that comes with reality TV and stuff.
I don't think she's going to be on it like what we've seen her on it before, but I think it literally is just going to be her talking, sitting down with TCK, her sister, and like amending that situation. I think we'll find out in the future. But there was leaks and videos of all the girls at a nightclub in Detroit, I think it might be. And Natalie and Biggie are like fucking arguing because Natalie's like said to the DJ to put Stunner Girls music on. So obviously Stunner Girl was in the last season, but she's been on the fucking internet slagging everybody from the show and Zeus Network, spilling all the tea for ages. But now I'm seeing screenshots and Natalie Nunn and Stunner Girl are sharing it that she is going to be on Baddies Midwest. Wait, I don't think it's for actually on the cast, but I think she's going to be performing at one of the clubs with the Baddies. I just don't get like how, because she was literally trying to shoot people up in the last season she was on it when she left. Like, she was down at the Zeus office, like down below, causing all sorts of drama. So I'm just like, what the fuck? But then Natalie's came out on the internet and said she's like, none of this stuff, even these girls hating the internet, I don't give a fuck about none of it. It's all business to me. None of it's personal. Like, I don't care if my fans want to listen to anybody's music, Krishan, Stunner Girls, whatever. If they're asking it to go on, then it's going fucking on. Like, I don't give a like. None of that shit is personal to me. Which, I mean, respect for her, but she was literally exposing you and all sorts of business about you and your man and who you're shagging and who you're not shagging. I mean, I feel like half the gossip I know about Natalie Nunn and the rest of the Baddies came from Stunner Girl. So I don't get it.
Yeah, why would you want that around you?
Exactly.
But yeah, loads going on. Something else we've been watching a lot recently. Well, we say a lot. We've watched the first 3 episodes. Aussie Shore.
Aussie motherfucking Shore, guys.
Yeah, so do you know what it is?
I was
apprehensive because even we grew up with Geordie Shore. That came out probably when I was too young to watch it, but still did. That was the kind of age we were at. I think Geordie Shore. Yeah, I was in high school, maybe just at the end of primary school. Even
I did watch Jersey Shore as well.
I watched Jersey Shore as well, but only loosely. And then I did watch it when I got older, and I was already watching Geordie Shore. But I went back and watched Jersey Shore completely.
I feel like we had a special connection with Geordie Shore, but when it first came out, just purely because our family was from Sunderland, even though it's like Newcastle, like same area basically. So we were obsessed with the get go.
Yeah. So Geordie Shore was definitely, and Geordie Shore really fucking. That was a big thing in the UK in terms of we hadn't seen anything as wild as Geordie Shore before.
For sure not.
So
and
many
then
TV
then the
firsts
Valleys came
happened.
out, and then that was fucking mental, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but that happened. That only lasted one season, I think. Two
No,
seasons.
2 seasons maybe.
Either way, Geordie Shore. So a little bit apprehensive when they then went on to remake these things, because there's certain aspects of Geordie Shore and the Jersey Shore that I think were so. They were kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but like perfect timing, as in like where pop culture was at, where we were in the 2010s or like 2000s. It was perfect timing for these shows to come out, and it felt like it was relevant in that kind of culture.
Aye, for sure.
But Geordie Shore, I think, came out 14 years ago or something, maybe. I'm
been a
just
long
guessing.
time now.
It's well over 10 years anyway. So to then say we're going to bring out a new one, first of all, Aussie Shore, the name was a bit weird because, right, anyone that watches us knows we've lived in Australia for 5 years now. Aussie Shore. That's...
Guys,
I mean,
you know what I want to know, but sorry, Ocean, before you cut in there. I'm a fiend for applying for TV shows, right? To go on. Really sorry to any producer that's had to deal with me, and I'm a pest. I'm so sorry, so embarrassed about any of that stuff. I'm a grown person now, so if you want me on your TV show, I'll not pester you, I swear to God. But what I don't get is, how the fuck did I not know Aussie Shore was happening? Like, how did I literally not know that was happening? That's what I
you
don't
seen
get.
no casting, didn't you know?
Yeah,
But it's just the
bullshit.
name as well. So we just assumed when we were going to watch this will be in the Gold Coast. Anyone that's been to Australia probably would have guessed the same thing. It seems like it's made for the Gold Coast, but it's actually set in Cairns, or as we like to say, Cairns. But
I
my
was going to say that I was like Cans, bitch.
my girlfriend will kill me if I call it Cairns.
It's
the
Cairns.
Whole Cairns.
It's got an R in it, it's Cairns.
Exactly.
I nearly spewed when I
But-
literally looked up there and you're like, Cairns. I'm like, what? But what I don't get is, I was in Cairns literally like 2 weeks ago before we watched the show. Why
How-
Cairns?
Why?
Why
It's so small,
Cairns?
a bit rough around the edges. Not to be rude, it's in a beautiful part of the world, but
The clubs are like falling apart. For every club I've seen, I'm so sorry. I don't want to slag Cairns, but
it just seemed like it was made for the Gold Coast. But I think they've called it Aussie Shore. We're guessing that maybe they're
they're
going
going
to
to go
move
to
the
different
location
places.
around because
every season.
yeah,
you come-
Jersey Shore
hit
was
me up.
the Jersey Shore.
Hit me
Geordie
up.
Shore was Newcastle. Like, it makes sense, but Aussie Shore is a bit random.
And
So,
Cairns.
yeah.
What?
But all the cast have also came from all over Australia, so maybe that was why the name was there as well. But
Yeah.
so far we've watched it, and to be honest, we've
It's
actually been
good.
pleasantly surprised. Don't get me wrong, there's some bits that, like last night we watched it, and I think one of them says, "Let's go out and get mortal." That made me cringe a bit. Right, this have Aussie Shore, but bring the Aussie culture into it. People
Nobody's
will find
saying
it funny.
mortal here.
They are fucking wild here when they go on a night out. So trust and believe that people will find it funny. But saying words like that when they don't even really say that much in the northeast of England either. Not
Yeah,
really now after the
exactly.
show. It's kind of one of those words that it's a little. It feels a little bit outdated.
Overused from
yeah.
Geordie Shore.
But fuck me, the cast on this show
They're wild.
are wild. There's absolutely no inhibitions with any of them.
And do you know
I've
what
really
I don't
enjoyed
get?
watching them.
See,
though.
with the backlash on the internet, they're like, why are you going to do another Geordie Shore? Like another version of like a shore. Because they would, and then everybody keeps on saying they already done Geordie Shore and Jersey Shore. Baby, they done well more than that. There's like there's literally so many different
foreign-speaking
shows.
countries that use them.
Like, I'm trying to list them all. I can't remember any of them. But guys, there's a lot of shore TV shows, not just Geordie Shore or Jersey Shore
They're
and
just
Aussie
obviously
Shore.
the ones
They're
that
just the most
catapulted it
popular
into-
ones. Yeah, for sure. But
But
I think
it's been pleasantly surprising, hasn't it?
yeah,
It's been funny.
I've enjoyed it. I think it's hilarious. Is it Katya?
I think the cast
Is
are
it
brilliant.
Katya?
Yeah. Katya, yeah.
Katya. She is absolutely brilliant.
She is fucking
She's
fantastic.
brilliant. And then the two, I think they're all actually brilliant. But then, guys, there was two. I think as well, just how far we've come in time or whatever. See, in one of the scenes last night, two of the gay guys are literally noshing it off on the bunk beds, and there's just a straight man above them. It's literally like, obviously, yeah, going like, oh my fucking god, what's happening? But I just feel like the respect to him for like
when
not
Jersey
being
Shore
an
came out,
insecure
that
man.
could not have happened.
They would have like, do you know what I mean? Any other like more like I don't know. I feel like a guy that's on TV in front of all other men, like you are securing yourself, son, to be sitting there not bothered. In fact,
He was
it's-
eating barbecue shapes.
yeah, like it was so fucking funny. So it's on Paramount Plus.
In Australia.
I don't really. It must be on MTV. I'm assuming back in the
Yeah.
UK.
Oh, and also the best bit is yet to come. In some ways, Callum Hall, fucking Callum Hall. You look at that. The best is yet to come because Callum from I'm a Celebrity is going to be on there as well.
Is he?
Yep.
Why did they not ask me to go in this fucking show? I'm
You're
fuming.
not a celebrity.
None of them are either.
I know. But to be honest, yeah, I think I don't have one single member of that cast that I've got anything to say about. Like, they are fucking brilliant. They're so entertaining. And I think they're just, yeah, yes, there's parts that make you cringe a little bit because it's trying to lean too much into that Geordie Shore narrative. However, these people have came on as their own people. They're a bit fucking wild, and I can't believe that they're actually showing full tits and puss on TV. Like,
yeah, well, seeing it's on a streaming service, it's not on a TV show.
Not
oh my
one
god, do you think
part
that's
was
what it
blurred
is?
out.
Do you think if it's on like normal streaming, like MTV back home, it will obviously be blurred out. There's not going to be full gash to the wall, fucking TV like
well,
that.
that's what I thought because they never did that in Geordie Shore. Fuck me.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
holy shit, man.
Yeah, I think the cast are brilliant, and I think they're doing a good job. And do you know what? Sometimes remember this is these people's first time on TV too. So
be fucking nice. Like, why are people just so nasty?
just
Sometimes,
take
like,
it for what it is.
be a
They're-
nice person.
Yeah, don't think too much into it. The world's not ending because they brought out another Shore fucking house.
Literally.
It's just a funny TV show with funny people in it.
Crazy. Anyway, probably the other biggest thing as well that I've been had in my mind or just seen constantly is all the stuff with Donald Trump and Kamala, right? Which, I mean, we're not here for the politics, right? But I'm just here for the laughs and the LOLs. Did you see there's a Donald Trump rally, and for the last 40 minutes of it, he just stops, right? And he's like, does anybody like music? Yeah, I really like. And I swear to God, he starts playing like the most old fucking music ever, all these different tunes, and he just stands there for 40 minutes. Getting a good
Oh my
1-2,
God.
a little 2-step. But as well, then he starts like saluting to a national anthem song, and I swear to God, it's literally like something out of The Exorcist. It's the most dystopian sounding.
I think the
weirdest.
Americans are dystopian anyway. Like the way they go on, they have to pledge allegiance every day. Like,
My favourite videos are the ones where they ask Republicans, they say, can you believe Biden or Harris or whatever done this? And they tell like a fact about what Donald Trump done. And then they're like, oh, she's a fucking weirdo, this, that. And they go, sorry, I got that wrong. It was Trump. And they're like, he has to do what he has to do.
you gotta do what you gotta do. Do you know what? I just can't handle it. I can't handle the fact that we've never lived in America and yet we have to know all about them. So yeah, I mean, their election's coming up soon. Can't wait for that to be done with. But it just never ends. We will always know what's happening in the USA because of it. So yeah, let them crack on.
I just feel like, holy shit, I don't know what's going to happen, but it is actually crazy to think about.
I can't believe we've got this far in talking in this podcast and not mentioned one of the other biggest things to happen in Australia in the last week. Young filly arrested on more than 4 charges.
Oh my
of
fucking
SA
God.
in
How
Western Australia.
Oceanly, how we forgot about this?
I don't know.
No,
like,
bad boy piece of information, guys. I'm so sorry to the victim. Obviously, this happened to you. The whole situation's fucked up. But what a bad boy piece of information we're coming
guys.
to you with. Ooh.
See, when we talk about having like these kind of parasocial relationships with celebrities,
Yep.
I've never been someone. It's funny that I'm on this podcast because I've never been someone that massively keeps up with pop culture or anything.
For
My
sure.
sister comes in and talks to me all about it, and then she made me sit in a podcast. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
But I have watched Young Philly for years, and when I seen that news come out the other day, that literally took over my brain. I
So
cannot
backstory
believe
for
it.
if you've been living under a rock, he's like a DJ and a performer as
Should we
well as
quickly
doing.
Google the? Can you just quickly Google the just the article and I'll read out the facts.
So backstory, obviously he's DJs and does like DJing and shows this, that,
I
and the
think
next
most
thing.
people know him as a YouTuber.
He's a
Anyone from the
Yeah,
UK, he
obviously-
is so massive in the UK.
Massive YouTuber, right? But he does do performing and songs and DJing and all that. So that's what he's in Australia for. And he was here for a week tour, and it started off in Perth and was finishing off in Brisbane. So the incident that's happened started in Perth, happened in Perth, but then he's not been picked up until a week later on his last show in Brisbane, where he's been extradited from Brisbane. Why would you do that?
I had to get it, but I didn't know what was in there. It surprised me.
I'm keeping that in.
No, you're
So he was
not.
extradited to Perth, where he got done.
So
and
here's
then
what the article says.
Yeah, read it out,
It said
Ocean.
the 29-year-old has been charged with 4 counts of sexual penetration without consent and 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm. He's also faced impeding a person's normally breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck. So
Whether or not it's like the whole thing of like people actually saying, there's actually people going on the internet that's literally saying like, oh my God, what do you expect if he's going to a room, this, that and the next thing? Guys, say regardless if she wanted to pump this guy, like, right
You
up.
can begin having sex with someone and then say no. That is still a breach of your boundaries. If you change where your consent is
People
at,
really need to be thinking with a brain before they come on this internet and say
Yeah.
shit like that. It's fucking wild. Like, if you
Yes,
want
you
to
can
stop, doesn't
consent.
matter at what point. If you want to then stop, it stops happening. All that, quite clearly, a girl does not get left in this state from enjoying herself. That
not
just
only
doesn't
that, the
happen.
police have got CCTV evidence, and the Western Australian police have quite literally said that her body is the evidence because of how damaged her body was. And I hate
And
to say it like that, but
it's
that's what the
horrific.
Western Australian police have said.
It's horrific. And another sad reality of it is many women, people, men, women, everybody will go to the police and are failed by the system for sexual assault things.
only
So if you
5%
think
of cases
that
even
in
get to this
Australia,
point.
especially if you think that the courts and the actual Australian Federal Police have all been working together, each state's police system have been working together to charge somebody
And
like,
extradite them.
and I think as well, a lot of Americans have been on the internet talking about she's suing him for money, this, that, next thing. Baby, this is not America. That is not how it works. She didn't sue. There was charges being pressed for her on behalf of the fucking state. Like, the state...
The federal police,
The federal police in the States moved ahead with this because of the evidence that's there. Not just because somebody wanted money. Use your fucking brain.
And what we're trying to emphasise here in particular here is that in Australia, we've got the Australian Federal Police, but each state is then in charge of their own policing. These states have worked together to then extradite him based on the fact that there's such strong evidence, and that comes from the word of the police.
Because there's
They've
many
got
criminal
strong evidence
situations,
on
criminal
this.
cases that happen where it will happen in Queensland, but then people will flee to Western Australia and things won't get picked up for years, will never get picked up because it's a different state and a different policing system. Separate.
Yeah.
Not the fucking same.
And
I feel like people need to be smarter with that shit.
There's a lot of people now that will obviously go back and look at videos and all
Have a
sorts of
different
content,
perspective.
yeah, and have a different perspective on what Philly did. But we don't know these people at the end of the day. We don't know any celebrity or influencer, no matter how much you think you know them based on what they share their life. You just don't. And it's hard to watch someone so well loved and so well connected within the UK influencer space. Like
100%.
Philly is
He's been
one
with
of the
everybody.
he's worked with everyone and everything. So there's so many people affected by this. But going back as well and trying to just dig out the life and past of the alleged victim just because people think they know who she is. The Western Australia police haven't named the victim and they're more than likely not going to name the victim at this point.
So MD that's coming forward, MD that's on the internet or any of these videos are not true.
Of her lifestyle, because there's lots of people discussing the fact that she might be a stripper, she might be some form of sex worker, regardless of what she is. If she's went through this, then that's something.
What's his friend called on Chunks?
Oh yeah, Chunks.
I feel bad for him because I think he's obviously same thing. Don't know these people on the internet, but he is always striked himself on the internet to be a very man who is all about respect and giving women respect and treating women as they should be treated and ABCD. And he obviously just got married as well a few weeks ago in the States. It was pure private.
I don't think he did get married. He calls it. He's always called it his wife, but I don't think they're actually married.
I'm pretty sure I'd seen a thing they got married a few weeks ago in the States and it was really private. Somebody liked the wedding, but he wanted it to be private.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that did happen. It's just a few weeks
Either way,
ago.
Chunks, he refers to her as his wife anyway. But
Yeah. So I think for somebody like him as well, it's such a shame
what's
because
his
obviously best mate, but also massive business partners. Like I can't even imagine how many things they've got tied together, contracts that are in together, A, B, C, D. What a fucking headache that is going to be for him. And I just think, this guy's career is absolutely down the gutter.
So at the minute, he's paid $100,000 to be let out on bail, and he's got to report to the. There's different reports. Some people say he's got to report to the police station 3 times a week. Some people say every
daily.
day. Yeah. So that's all the way up until December the 19th when his court date is in Australia. So there's going to be none of the planned things that he's had planned. He is stuck in Oz until we find out more.
But
so
there's been so many different videos as well that have came out of him during this tour acting like an absolute fucking crazy person, like with his fans in nightclubs. I think just acting erratic. To me, obviously looking at it now, it looks erratic. But then to me before, I'd probably be like, that looks like a guy that's like fucked up on drugs.
So yeah,
do you know what I mean?
At the end of the day, we don't fully know. I guess we'll wait and find out what's going to happen when he actually gets to court. But
just is saving grace, like Grace GK Barry, MD came out and said anything about it yet?
No one said anything yet. Like the only people I've seen is a couple of the boys that he live
Chunks
streams.
did post saying, I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's
Yeah, it's an ongoing legal process, so he's
Yeah.
probably just not going to talk about it. At the end of the day, you don't want to go for or against and have it proved any other way. So it's probably best that people like that don't say too much just now in terms of like their own career and stuff like that. But
What an insane
Ginge, do
week.
you know Angry Ginge?
Yep.
So a couple of the boys that live stream with him because he plays in like a FIFA live streaming team, Girth and
Right.
Turf basically. He's
Garth and Turf.
Girth and Turf. But
My.
so they do like it's like it's hard to describe, but basically all the boys have a separate role in the actual team and play FIFA online like an actual team. Like they
Right,
pick one
okay.
player and that's them, right?
Okay.
So they run that. So Ginger's addressed it, but only in the sense that he's just said, "What do you want me to say just now? I know no more than you know. Like I can't comment on something that I know nothing other than what's on that article right
Fucking
now.
hell.
Obviously, that article is fucking terrifying. Like that's such a horrific read, but I do not know
Anything else is
anything
happening.
else. And yeah, so I don't want to comment on it. And I think that's a fair thing. Like we put a lot of pressure on people these days to
Put a
make
lot of
statement.
pressure, influencers and these content creators and all that to be
I think
somebody
we
they're
forget
fucking
them.
not.
I
They're
think we
literally
forget
human
they're
beings.
everyday people.
And guys, not saying it all the time. A lot of these content creators have not a fucking qualification to their name because that and they pursue a career in content creation. Like, no, that I'm not all of them. Obviously, there's majority of loads of people that will, but
Most
you're going
content
to
creators
keep-
are not going to have a fucking politics degree.
Yeah,
or
like
a
what the
HR
fuck
degree.
are you actually going to ask them? Like, and if you are going to them to ask for your opinion, then you need to probably come off the internet and stop. Like, it's the same with us. Like, I always say Oceanly as well. Like, we come on here and all that, and we'll have the goss, and we'll have the facts, and we'll have the no facts, and we'll fucking make up a little thing on the end to make it funnier or whatever. But it's like that's what it should be like, and you should. Somebody as a viewer or somebody should be able to come in and watch something and use their brain and go, I'm not going to take this random person on internet's advice just because somebody might have the setup, might have like the way, they might have the best way to talk, they might talk really convincingly, or they might just edit themselves to
got to
talk
have
really
your own
convincingly.
thoughts.
You've got to have your own thoughts. Like I could sit here and make a fucking 1,000 fuck ups and then cut out every single fuck up and you'll never see the fuck ups. So then your perspective as a viewer thinks, oh my god, this person's just so perfect at talking, this
Yeah,
person's so
and
great
they're
doing this
not.
and that. It's not. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors with the internet, and I think people need to really remember to separate that for that.
And
Do you
it's
know what I mean?
like, what are you going to do? Beg chunks for some sort of statement when at the end of the day, one, it's
Because all
his
you want
best
them to,
mate.
it doesn't, they don't want a statement, but people don't want a statement. They want them to go on the internet
They
and be
want
like,
to persecute
fuck
him.
you, cunt.
Yeah,
They want them to,
they want him to feed
they want a
whatever
show.
narrative they've got, for good or bad. At the end of the day, these are normal people, and we're living it in real time. Like any piece of information that can come out tomorrow that completely changes your perspective. But
For sure.
once these people who have got so many millions of followers have put something online, it can be cut and clipped and manipulated and sent round the world 10 times over, and then they can change their opinion
And for
because at the
what?
end of the day, more information comes out, we learn more, our perspective changes.
Yeah.
Not to say like in any sort of way I'm leading towards like this not being true or anything
Of
like
course
that.
it's like, but it's just saying like,
yeah, like in this case, the police have said we have a mountain of evidence against this person.
and people don't get put on fucking 100 grand bail for fuck all. Like
Yeah.
they just don't.
Do you
Like
know what I
whether
mean?
it's
So
a
take that
conspiracy.
as your point of view just
Literally,
now.
like-
that is what we know just now as a fact. So
And
take
let's just
that.
be real here, the world's at a point where the policing system doesn't really seem to do the best job all the time. So the fact they someday like people think people are getting persevered, especially rich people, seems to be rich and famous people are coming down by the hatchets right now.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Doesn't it?
Like, I commend the police in a way because, yes, it is heartbreaking that 95% of these cases will never even get to this point. But the police have been quick on getting through the motions quickly with this. Like, he was extradited within not even 2 weeks after. We see extradited and put in a slammer, like at least for a night or two. You know what I mean? So they've done the best they can just now
Crazy.
in terms of looking at it. Take it for what it is at this point in time. We know what we've been told at this point in time.
Yeah.
So don't go digging for the whole life and history of the supposed girl, this or that. Sometimes your favourite creator does shit things and you've got to just go with that because sometimes people are
Period.
shit. As B said, plenty of smoke and mirrors with anything online.
You
like,
just see such a small part of somebody's life on the internet. Like,
yeah. And that's
Do you
speaking
know
from
what I mean?
someone that's been a fan of Philly for years. I've loved them so much, but you've got to just take people.
What about Nella? Did she say anything about her?
No one has, I don't
Nobody?
think. No one that I've seen anyway.
Oh, well,
but do you know what?
eventually we
It's
will
not
hear
their,
people's-
yeah, at the end of the day, it's not like they're finding this out as well and they're just as shocked as us. So it's like, just give people like his associates.
Is there
a
anybody else
fucking
that's
break.
happened to in that like community of people?
This is the biggest thing I can think of ever happening within
Yeah, I
UK,
can't-
within UK content creation.
Yeah.
Not a lot happens in the UK. Not a lot.
Or not a lot gets spoke about.
Yeah, or
as
not a lot
quite
gets
clearly.
spoke about. But yeah.
But anyway, guys, this has been another episode of Wits The Goss. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a bit of a different one this time. But anyway, anywho, if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you give it a 5 stars on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, get a thumbs up, comment, share it with your pals. If you don't like us, still fucking send that to the group chat and talk absolute shit about us. That's no problem as
And
well.
let us know what you think about the little watch-along style things with
And
all
let us
your
know what you
favourite
think about that,
shows.
yeah. If you're still listening, 'cause this is like the end of the episode. I wonder how many people make it to the end of the episode.
Probably about 10. Anyway,
Love
much
yous.
love.
See you next week.
Bye.